I haven't done an update in about 9 to 10 months, and the problem with that is that you accumulate a lot of DVDs. If you try to show that plus the Blu-rays on top of that, you get a very long video. So I've decided to split the Blu-rays and the DVDs into separate updates so the videos don't get too long. Simple as that. But before I get on with the Blu-rays, I wanted to show a CD, which I never show in any of my updates. So this is a special one-off occasion basically. This is a band called Slow Club. This is their second album. It's called Paradise. I got introduced to Slow Club about 1.5 years ago when I saw Katie Tunstall and they were supporting. She is amazing, Katie Tunstall, but Slow Club won me over the minute I heard their music, had to buy their album. The first album's called So Yeah. This is their second album. I recently got to see them again live, and that's where I picked up the album. I think they deserve more attention and people should know more about them. If you have not heard of Slow Club, then just go on to YouTube and type them in. They are absolutely amazing and they're quickly rising to be one of my all-time favourite bands at the minute. So Slow Club, yeah. The first Blu-rays that I've got are these anniversary editions. Many people actually despise these down to the fact that they all look the same. They are barebone, they are cheap editions, they aren't the best editions that are out there, and you can get probably better quality and editions on DVD, but these were incredibly cheap, so I thought I'm going to pick them up anyway. And in my mind they're not that bad to start off with, but the first one I've got here is Midnight Express, which has essentially been re-released because it's to do with John Hurt's fellowship at the BAFTA, which was rightfully deserved. I think that's why lots of these types of films have been released with John Hurt in them. It's rather amazing. Midnight Express, it probably has one of the most exciting openings to a film I've ever seen, and if you've seen the film you know exactly what I'm talking about. Next one in the collection is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I sometimes don't show much interest in Steven Spielberg. I absolutely despised War Horse. I thought Tintin was absolute soulless garbage, but Close Encounters is my absolute die-hard favourite Steven Spielberg film. Next one is Easy Rider, which I have actually not seen. It's directed by Dennis Hopper. It's one of the influential films of American New Wave. Has a lot to thank for French New Wave, which kind of defined that youth and that era at the time with films like Bluest of Blu-Ray. And then you have Easy Rider, which did the exact same in the 60s, and you know, the argument goes, if you didn't have these films, would of New Hollywood come out as well as it did in the 70s and 80s? No one really knows, but we have a lot to thank for Easy Rider. And the last one in this edition is Taxi Driver, which I have seen many times. It's an absolutely phenomenal film. Everyone knows about Taxi Driver, and everything that has essentially been said about Taxi Driver has already been said. So do I need to say anything else? The next one is Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I quite like. I picked it up for £2 at Macro because they were getting rid of everything in their media section for some reason. I am not entirely sure why, but Fantastic Mr. Fox I quite like, only from my perspective. If you were to show this to a kid, I think they would be quite confused by the humour, but I quite like it. It's aimed at an audience like me. It's aimed for Wes Anderson fans, but some people really don't like it, down to the fact that, hey, you're making one of the most beloved children's books into a very grown-up film. Does that work? To some it does, to some it doesn't. For me, it works perfectly fine. Next one is The Quick and the Dead, which is a western directed by Sam Raimi, and I think that kind of sells it itself. The Quick and the Dead stars Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and babyface Leonardo DiCaprio. Babyface Leonardo DiCaprio playing Jay Gatsby. I'm not sure if that's perfect casting or a complete mistake. We'll just have to wait and see. Next one is the director's cut of Guillermo del Toro's Mimic, which spawned 2 god-awful sequels, but the original is supposedly very good. It is probably the only Guillermo del Toro film, apart from the short film that he did and Cronus, which I have not actually seen. I'm a massive Guillermo del Toro fan. Pan's Labyrinth, Devil's Backbone, the 2 Hellboy films. I wish he was able to do The Hobbit. I would rather see that than Peter Jackson's version, and of course I would have rather have seen Altogether at the Mountains of Madness, which was the H.P. Lovecraft film, which I really want to see one day, but we now have Pacific Rim. so hopefully that's good. But I think a die-hard fan of Guillermo del Toro really does need to see his first feature film, so I picked up Mimic for that reason. And the next one is Silent Running, which is part of the Masters of Cinema edition, and it is the number 23 for anyone who cares. And for anyone else who cares, the number 23 with Jim Carrey is a rather terrible film. Anyway, it's a sad, moving, very humane story, even though it's millions and millions of miles away from humanity itself. I really like Silent Running. Some people don't like it because of its eco message, but I think that's not its main point to start off with. But if you haven't seen Silent Running, this is an excellent addition to pick up. The next 3 Blu-rays are actually box sets, so I've decided to take a closer look at them, and that's really all I have to say. They're cumbersome, they're massive, they can't really be done just by doing this, so I've decided to take a closer look. First one we have is the Guillermo del Toro collection on Blu-ray. And on the front cover we've got the Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth, of course we've got a device from Cronus, and we have got one of the children from Devil's Backbone. If you open it up, it has a pop-up scene from Pan's Labyrinth, which is probably the best thing about this new set of his films. You have Cronus, you've got The Devil's Backbone, and of course you've got Pan's Labyrinth, and you've also got a preview of Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan's The Fall, which is a really good piece of horror fiction, part of the Strain trilogy. You've also got the Alien Anthology, which is just in time for Prometheus. This is the side, the front, and the back. Inside, it's a pretty bare bones set, but it does come with the discs with all the special features and more than the quadrilogy. You've got Resurrection, you've got Alien 3, Aliens, and of course the very best and original Alien. And also it comes with a Mother Mode, which is a way of accessing the bonus features which you can only do in the Blu-ray set. We've also got Stanley Kubrick, the Visionary Filmmaker collection. And inside this collection it contains some of his very best films, including Lolita, Barry Lyndon 2001, Clockwork Orange, it's got Shining, Full Metal Jacket, and of course Eyes Wide Shut. This is the inside of the edition. You've got all the discs with all the special features, including at the very end an actual documentary about Kubrick narrated by Tom Cruise, which I'm not sure how that'll turn out. And also it comes with a booklet, which is about 40 pages, contains many pictures and supplements all about the films and about Kubrick's filmmaking styles. It's very interesting, and about all the films, if you don't understand what they're actually... So that's the update over with. But before I go, I need to say that I'll be going away for 2 weeks, so that means no videos. You know, I don't promise many things, and the one things I usually say are, I'll do more videos, and then I don't go and do them. But I will be in Edinburgh for the Edinburgh International Film Festival, where I'll be going for the entire 2-week haul, which I'm really looking forward to. I've been waiting all year for this, been saving up my money for that entire 2 weeks essentially. So if you would like to know what I think of all the films that I'll be going to see, I'll be putting all my mini reviews of these films on Facebook. If you would like to see what I think of these films, then you can friend me on Facebook, the link is down below. I will accept, and you can see what I think of films like Brave, Killer Joe, God Bless America, Barbarian Sound Studio, the remake of Pusher, the Nicholas Winding Refn film, has got a remake, and it's British. And once I come back from Edinburgh, the next video I will be doing will be 1, a DVD update, and 2, also showing what my favourite films of the year so far, halfway through, have been. So you've got that to look forward to. And now I think that is me done.